Hello. Today I'm going to explain to you through this 1 hour lecture the relational algebra. So, what is a relational algebra? In fact, relational algebra it's a procedural language, query language that's necessary and provides theoretical foundations for relational database. And as you know, a relational database is a set of relations or tables that are related to each other by sharing keys or primary keys or foreign keys. So this language permits to query data stored in a relational database in tables that are connected using operators that allow to retrieve data from one or more relations according to specific conditions. So it is to query to retrieve data from one table or more tables. A relation is a table, remember. Basically, query language indicate what to do and what data is expected. So it's about data, okay? How uh, to retrieve this, what to do, and what data is expected, which parts of the table or the relations we require. However, procedural language instruct tells them how we can do this query, how to retrieve the data, how, in which way, procedural language, okay? So query language is about what data we want to retrieve. However, procedural language, it's how to retrieve this data, okay? How to get this data, how to do the query on this table or many tables, okay? However, relational algebra operations, what does it mean, this phrase? Basically, relational algebra work on one or more relations. You should always put in your mind a relation is a table or many tables. So work on one or more relations to define another relation without it changing the original relations. So it could be select from multiple tables. We combine them into a single table. We create a new table of selecting data from this table and table number one and table number two. Then we combine them into a third table and we call this a new relation. Or we may join two tables. Okay, we join, for example, table 1 consists of 3 columns and table 2 consists of 4 columns. When we join, the new table will have the sum of these two tables. If the first is 3 columns and the second is 4, it means the new relation, join the new relation will be consisting of 3 plus 4, 7 columns. So this is a new relation. This is a new table. So relational algebra works on one or more relations. Okay. And when we execute these operations, we execute some relations on this table, we create a resulting relation. This is we call it a new relation or resulting relation. So relational algebra, it's how we can use these operations, how we can combine them. These operations may be and, maybe or, maybe some condition greater than or equal, maybe equal, maybe less than something. So we do these operations on these multiple, one or more multiple or relations that to create a new relation. So the game of the relational algebra comes here, these operations. Okay? In relational algebra, basically we have both operands and the results are relations. So output from one relation can be input to another relation. Yes, for sure. Imagine that we have done some select for price greater than or equal to $1,000 on a table. This operation, when we do it on one table, it will create a new table, resulting table. This resulting table, we can also do another operation on it to be the output, this output to be input for another relation. Input in the mean, in the sense that we can create another operation, we can execute another operation on the resulting table. And always we can execute operations on any resulting relation or table. As you see, one or more tables, we do operation, the first operation, then the resulting relation can be combined, as you see, combined with other relations. Then we can execute another operation to have another resulting relation. We will see throughout this lecture how these things work. So, relational algebra expression. This is very important to note. It's a sequence of relational algebra operations. You know operations, as I told you, it's like operation and operation or operation maybe greater than or less than or equal or not equal. These logical operations. It represents an unasked question or a query to a database. So the expression basically asked the database for some data when this expression becomes true. So, for example, this is the whole database. This is the whole database. This is the relation. It's the table. So a table is a relation. First of all, to do understanding the a relational algebra, we have to understand all this stuff. So the person ID first attribute, we call this attribute or column. The second attribute is first name, this column. The last name is the third attribute or column. The fourth column, which we call it birth date, is an attribute. So as you see, this is attribute name and this is attribute data or columns. The data which is related to personal ID. So this set, personal ID, first name, last name, birth date, all together, 1, 2, 3, 4, we call them relation schema. Relation schema. Relation schema, it means that this will consist this relation, these titles. However, each one attributes or column. Okay? The database name or the relation name is the person. So it's the name of the table or the relation. Let's say always a table is a relation. We fix it. So this The name of this relation is person. However, these rows of data, okay, we call each of them row or tuple. Tuple or a row, okay? Rows or tuples. So attributes or columns, rows or tuples. However, the number of rows of data rows 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5, the number of these rows we call them cardinality or number of rows. Cardinality or number of rows, okay? However, the number of columns now we call them arity or number or degree or number of columns, okay? So number of columns is the degree, number of rows cardinality, okay? Classifications of operations. We have basically two types: unary operations and binary operations. Unary, it means that one unit from unit, one operations, one operations binary of two. For example, unary operations are the operations that apply to a single relation. For example, this is a single relation. We have only one relation called person. All the operations that you may execute on this relation are unary. For example, the selection. I want select me the first name equal to Karim from table person. So it will just give you this table, first name equal Karim, this row and this row, but they will be under these titles, okay? For example, select me personal ID equal to 315. This one, only this one, this the output. The resulting new relation is this one. So the new relation will be a new table with the same relation schema, but only one row of information, only this one. This way we create a new relation when we execute relational algebra on some relation. So the first one is the selection. We select, as I said to you. Projection, when I want from the table, for example, projection, when I want to project person ID first name on the relation person. What does it mean, a project? A project, it means that I only want to take this and this.